Like I wanna, you know, greet you guys, make sure you're okay. Um, so yeah, if you're new to the channel, mm, this is about this guy, these people, so those that know, those that don't, it's just really interesting. But I feel like let me just speak to those that actually want to make progress in their lives. Because this was a personal journey where I said I'm just gonna go public, and there has been a lot of ups, there have been a lot of downs. So as someone that's just really getting in tune with being a public speaker, especially one that's not just all about speech, but about actively making a difference in situations that we'd like to come out of, because I don't feel like anyone wants to go through bad situations, but unfortunately, they are the bread and butter that make us, give us the muscles, to give us the nutrients we need to develop the strength and to become strong so we can be in new environments, And I'm not talking physical environments because of what the mind is. It's beyond physical. The mind is like the bridge between the spiritual and the physical, So now I'm starting to learn that, okay, I haven't been fully in mind of how I'm perceived, especially towards my own basic needs and to the needs of others. So I feel like me being openly, it being openly outspoken about my personal life and what I do, it actually becomes very interesting because it's like now as if I'd had different personalities based on the fact that I had to make sure I do what I had to do. So now it doesn't always have to come out the same way that I'd like it to, even though I wanted it to come out the best way, because of deep down we all have our own ways of dealing with situations. So now as I'm becoming more aware of that, this new space that I'm in, especially the fact that now I'm really intentional about making a difference, because I could have just caved in, but my past experiences does not allow me to limit myself, so my belief systems are very quite deep. So I don't want to make this like a long video, but I guess I shouldn't be too worried about too many things, because I guess I'm always willing to be the one that's kind of making people feel okay. So now I'm kind of getting off topic, because for this video I want to speak about my deep dark shadow self, like the evil that is within me, the the beast essentially, because everyone always knows the guy that's just in front of the camera, but now my shadow self, my own dark needs, desires tend to be manifested unconsciously and consciously, right? Because of now I was just too consumed and absorbed in my own journey that I'm not aware that in each moment it affects people differently. And I did not realize that I had that much influence over the energies of the environment, because I always used to think that I had to physically be there to actually make a difference. But now I'm becoming more aware that, okay, things can happen where you are in ways that you like or prefer, depending on how you choose to make it happen, because it's all about interactions and energy. So now it's interesting how you can interact with people without having to physically be there. I'd always wanted to make time to actually speak to people directly, but now it's as if that is not necessary, which is not, I'm not sure if it really is or not, but as I'm still, unlocking this new journey, new power, like, okay, we can impact, situations based on where we are without having to move physically. It's literally a whole new path, but yeah, so the deep dark shadow self of my own desires that I've been so absorbed within myself that I did not recognize the beauty of life itself and how, as people, as humans, we have so much power and capacity within ourselves that I just wanted to keep that hidden, because of I do know that, as a human, your capacity, your potential, it really, really is limitless, honestly speaking, because knowing from my personal experience, like being a human myself, wow, now to share that with someone in a moment, it becomes really interesting now because it becomes a bit of a challenge to really unwrap the hidden gifts that are within because of these things become so really, really flabbergasting because how do you actually explain and express the capacity of the human potential in a way where it can be understood by people who are where they are in doing the things that they want to do because of they really want to make sure they want to be okay with where they are, you know. So now it's really interesting that with our own desires to live with life to give the most that we can, how is it being received in the areas that we're in? Are we even making a difference? Is it even worthy of it or not? So I guess in my own shadow, I express insecurities differently depending on my emotional states or in the interactions that I have with my surroundings, because personally in my own journey, I've never held back. I've done the most that I could with uh, with myself or with whatever is there, because I do understand there is a bit of life force within me, may not be the most, but I would not let that hold me back to achieve what is needed because of I've never doubted the being that I am. So yeah, interestingly enough, in the book, I speak about how we have senses, right? If you want the book, it's available. It's on the website. It's just a link there where you can just make a payment to receive it. You should get it within like 30 minutes or, possibly even less, probably like 5-10 minutes. So, yeah, in that book, I explain that people interact differently based on what stimulates them, and this content of you being uh, an energy force or a unique identity, because I do understand that when we're existing, we are not boxed in by what people define as right or wrong, because essentially that comes down to intuition and understanding now the depth of the unconscious mind where the shadow deep dark self actually exists, the unconscious, where these things materialize and they express themselves differently through interactions and they make a difference. It's just now how people are aware of their own unconscious, their own dark side, and that how kind of influences their experiences and their being as a whole. Because in each moment, especially difficult moments, that's when you can actually mold a beautiful, like, you can create and mold a beautiful character or should I call it a character? I'd say more of a beingness, I would say it's a character, but a beingness of you can be so, crafted. I feel like 'cause as you exist in experiences, if you are aware, you can influence who you're becoming. But if you're not aware, you can't influence who you're becoming. That's now where that dark side comes in, where I understand that my level of awareness and the level of awareness of my surroundings are not the same. Therefore, I use that to exist and express myself in a way where it gratifies me emotionally, because we all have energies, we all seek and desire different things and at different levels. So, in that book, I speak about these three main energy centers brains, where each of them receive different signals in different ways. So as I speak to you right now, some people are receiving energies through their gut, other people are receiving the energies through their heart, other people are experiencing the energies through their head. So the head now, it's where you can process heavily complex situations, heavy complex situations, because of not everything is just the A to B. It could seem that way, for someone that has actively tried to process situations. But as I explained, that awareness and understanding, not exactly the same thing. Because of now, when you're aware of something and to fully understand it, it's a different thing. It's really a different thing. Because to understand it, it means that you'd have processed all the content of the situation and the surrounding as is, not as we see it or aware of it or feel it. That's why I'm saying having this much power does kind of make me, I wouldn't say a villain, but more of a devil, of a Satan, because I'm aware of my desires, and being aware of that desires, they don't control me, I control my desires, So I don't control everyone's desires, but I do understand that now I influence people in different ways, and that kind of creates a perception of me, which is not exactly who I am, because a perception is not my true essence of being, because I don't really act or pretend. I've just always been direct, focused on what I'm doing, and I channel more of my head energy based on the fact that the electromagnetism energy that you can transmit and distribute mentally are not the same from a heart or gut energy center, because that's how we were created as a being. Because the level of awareness of existing, it's not easy to understand. Because I remember a quote where my pops, like, he had this frame, a picture. It says, "Man is made to live life, not to understand it." Seems interesting, it seems interesting. So I guess me actively trying to understand my core essence is now coming to the tree of life, the knowledge of good and evil, because of now, even the word evil itself, backwards is written live, so I guess now I can fully say I am really both the worst I can ever be in my whole life, simultaneously being what I'm still not prepared to really become in full essence, because of I'm interacting with you from a pure energetic space, and that's just a moment in time where we're interacting in space. It is not, not itself. So it's interesting how there's an expression of truth. I always speak to people where it is like the truth and the ultimate truth. Because as a human being, each person can create their own truth. Because being human is the most godlike thing you can ever make. And each human can image or they can create their own imagery of their own experience. Because we are that much of an advanced being and entity. We are not like other animals or other beings, other species, because now we can comprehend and process other situations that other beings cannot, depending on which context you're coming from as you're watching this video. So yeah, so my dark side means that I have full control over the evilness that lives within me, which is my desires. Yeah, and I can control it. I guess sometimes it seems as if it's not in control. So based on who's assuming or seeing or receiving certain signals on their energy centers. So yeah, it's really quite an interesting time. Really is. So yeah, so this is like one of the first transmissions, and going forward, there's gonna be a lot going on. So peace out.